Hello students, today we'll start with our unit number 2, that is actuators and power unit. The first lecture will be on linear actuators. So what are hydraulic actuators? These are devices which converts the pressure energy of a fluid into mechanical energy. The amount of power which is developed by actuator usually depends on the flow rate, the pressure drop across that actuator and its overall efficiency. The type of two major type of actuators based on their method of actuation is linear actuator and rotary actuator. The linear actuators are also called as hydraulic cylinders, which we are going to study in this particular lecture, and rotary actuators, which are called as hydraulic motors, which we are going to study in subsequent lectures. So hydraulic linear actuators, as the name implies, that they provide motion in a straight line, and depending on the type of motion they provide, they are also called as a hydraulic jack, cylinders or rams. Hydraulic jack is the terminology which is usually used to describe a hydraulic actuator which lift the load. So the function of hydraulic cylinder is to convert the hydraulic power into linear mechanical force or motion. The hydraulic cylinder extends or retracts a piston and retracts a piston rod, which provides a push or pull type of force to drive the external load along a straight line path. So to discuss detail about actuator, first we will consider the basic model of a hydraulic cylinder. So this is also called a linear actuator. So it has a piston rod. It has two ends. The end which is on the piston side is called as a piston end, or also called as a cap end. There is another end of this particular actuator which is called as a rod end. So the end of a cylinder which contains the rod, which is called as a rod end. So you can easily see that there is a effective area difference between cap end side and rod end side. Since the amount of fluid which enters the actuator, that is discharge which enters the actuator, is same, because you can see there is a area difference between the cap end side and rod end side of the cylinder, you will get the difference in the velocity of actuation for that particular cylinder. So depending on the type of there are different type of hydraulic cylinders. First called as single acting cylinder, double acting cylinder, telescopic and tandem cylinders. So we'll study all of them. Coming to the single acting cylinder, you can find that in single acting cylinder the fluid enters and leaves through the same port. Usually the retraction motion is provided by a spring. So you can see that in this particular first diagram. Now in these two diagrams you can see that these are hydraulic push and pull type of cylinders. Whenever you want to lift the load, you can see that the pressure port, that is the port from where the fluid enters into the actuator, is situated on the piston side, whereas whenever you want to lift the load, the piston, the port which through which the fluid enters the actuator, is situated at the rod end. So you can easily see there is a difference between area of between the pistons, cap end and rod end. So let us consider a simple numerical in by which we will understand what is the required velocity. So usually we know about the cylinders, as per our application we know what is the power required, which gives us what is the discharge which is required for the application, and we also know what is the speed of required application. So simply by using Q is equal to area of piston into velocity of actuator, we can find out the area of the piston. So this example will tell you how to find the area of the piston. So coming to the double acting cylinder, is cylinder where the fluid enters and leaves from the both end, from the rod end as well as cap end side of the actuator. So you can find that in double acting cylinder, whenever this during extension stroke, the fluid enters through the cap end side of the cylinder and leaves through the rod end side of the cylinder, whereas during retraction stroke the fluid enters through the rod end side of the cylinder and leaves through the cap end side of the actuator or cylinder. So you can see that this is the basic construction of a hydraulic cylinder. It contains several seals which we will consider in next slide. So this numerical is important. In this numerical, you know what is the cylinder size, then and you know what is the discharge of the application and the pressure, and you want to find out what is the velocity of actuator as well as what is the force which is given by the concerned actuator. So here you can find that during extension stroke the area of piston is pi by 4 d square, whereas in retraction the area is pi by 4 d square minus d square. That is, this is also called as a annular area and this is also called as a piston area. So the annular area is pi by 4 d square minus d square. That is piston piston square minus rod end side area square. So this will give you velocity 0.422 meter per second, and during extension stroke you get the velocity 0.3315 meter per second. So since the discharge is same for during extension as well during retraction, you will find just because of the area difference here, effective area difference, you get the difference in the velocities during extension and retraction. So since pressure which is developed during extension and retraction stroke is also the effective area is different, you can see that the force which is extended, which is nothing but the product of pressure multiplied by the effective area, since the effective area is changing, you can also find there is a difference in the force. So what you observe is that during extension stroke you will get the better force because the effective area of the piston is more than during the retraction stroke. So this is also another numerical which in which you know the discharge, you know the size of actuator, then you need to find out what is the pressure, what is the velocity of that actuator, as well as what is the power which is delivered by the actuator. So first we need to find out the pressure, which is nothing but the force upon area. So during extension naturally the effective area is pi by 4.04 square. So this will give you pressure. You know what is the discharge, okay, and you know the piston diameter. So you can get the velocity of extension, that is 1.273 meter per second, as well as when you know what is the force and you know what is the velocity of that particular actuator, you can find out the power which is delivered by the actuator, and that comes as 6.366 kilowatt. Similarly, during retraction stroke you know the area, annular area, that is pi by 4.04 square minus 0.02 square. So you will get the pressure, as well as you can get the velocity during retraction by using the annular area again with the same discharge, as well as you get the power output. So let us consider about telescopic cylinder. Telescopic cylinders usually we have application in dumper trucks. Now telescopic cylinders are used where you need a faster motion from a hydraulic arrangement. Usually hydraulic arrangements are slow. So whenever you know whenever you want a quick response from a hydraulic system, the best way is to reduce the area of the actuator, and that gives the idea of a telescopic cylinder. So since you need to have a faster dumping action for the content material in this particular dumper truck, you use the telescopic arrangement. Telescopic arrangement will give you the faster movement of this particular arm, which will help you to dump the load. So let us consider that with the help of numerical. Telescopic arrangement is there. It has 3 cylinders, outer diameter 100 mm, inner diameter is 80 mm, and the innermost is 60 mm. They are lifting a load of 4000 kg during the cycle, and they have that particular truck has a discharge pump, delivers at 10 liters per minute. So we need to find out what is the velocities at different stages of the that particular motion of the complete motion of the telescopic cylinder. So initially you can find out what is the pressure depending on what is the effective area. Okay, so for the first stage, the velocity usually which is given by the discharge upon the effective area, that is 1.27 meter per minute. The pressure is 50 bar. During second stage you can find out the effective area is reduced because of the effective diameter is 80 mm. So again for the second stage you can find out the velocity is 1.99 meter per minute, as well as the pressure which is load upon area, that is 78.1 bar. During third stage the diameter is 60 mm, because of which again there is a increase in the speed, it comes 3.54 meter per minute, as well as the pressure is increased. So subsequently what you find that during each stage the speed of actuation as well as discharge is increasing. So this will give us an idea that why that particular telescopic arrangement is used in the truck. So that gives us a high velocity of actuation. Okay, so tandem cylinders, you know that tandem cylinders are cylinders which has a multiple ports, entry points for the fluid. So for a so that will increase the effective discharge which enters that particular actuator, so because of which the speed of actuation will increase. So tandem cylinders are used when a faster action is required. So usually the hydraulic cylinders are classified, or those are given. This table is actually will give you the idea that what is the ratio of a piston diameter to the rod and rod diameter are available in the market, as well as there is a variation in the rod areas. Okay, that is under 40 mm piston diameter you have a small rod of 20 mm as well as 28 mm. So likewise there are different combinations for a metric cylinders are available. So usually for cylinder you have a stainless steel, high precision stainless steel as a material. For piston rod you use a forged C45 steel, and for tie rod you have a high carbon steel. Hydraulic ram is usually used in the hydraulic press, which has a higher cross section. Hydraulic ram is a device in which cross sectional area for a piston rod is more than half of the cross sectional area of the moving component. That means the rod area is very quite large. That is called as a hydraulic ram. So hydraulic rams are primarily used to push rather than pull, and are most commonly used in high pressure applications like hydraulic press. So this diagram will tell you about different type of seals which are used in the hydraulic cylinder. The outermost seals are called as a rod or wiper seal, which has a basic function to avoid contaminants to go inside the cylinder body. There is a rod seal which act as a lubricating medium, so they contain oil and they lubricate the cylinder wall and cylinder rod. So they make sure that there will not be a friction between cylinder wall and cylinder rod, as well as there are wear rings. So these wear rings are placed such that those will make sure that the cylinder rod and cylinder wall remain coaxial during the operation. So piston seals are used. Piston seals are usually used to make sure that when the cylinder is not in actuation, the load will not run away and the load will maintain its position. So for that piston seals are used in a cylinder. So these are my references from where I took most of the diagrams which are used in the presentation. Thank you.